Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hearing Your Voice with Chandra, where your voice is heard. Thank you all for tuning in with us today. We have a very special voice coming your way. Our guest is a loan originator who has helped countless people to obtain home ownership. I'm excited to hear what she has to offer. So please join me as we welcome to the show, Tia Austin. Thank you so much, Tia, for being with us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. But before we dive in, if you could just tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and some of your experience as a loan officer.
Okay. All right. I'd love to. So my name is Tia Austin. I've been a loan originator for a little over 2 years. I've closed a little over 100 loans in those 2 years.
Wow.
And so in that time frame, I mainly specialize in government loans. So that's going to be your FHA loans, VA loans, and USDA loans. And I also specialize in first-time home buyers.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive in, guys. So if you will, the question that most people have when they're trying to purchase a home is, what is the current interest rate? So tell us, what is the current interest rate right now? And does that apply to everyone?
So, not to create a jump scare, but so interest rates are they're in the sixes. Okay. So for government loans, you're talking about like mid sixes. Conventional loans is about high sixes. That interest rate does not apply to everyone blanket. So the things that go into an interest rate is going to be tailored to you and that property. So it's going to be determined by your credit score, your debt to income ratio, whether you're occupying the property or not, whether it's like an investment property or your primary, and the amount of your down payment. So how much the loan's going to be for versus what that property actually appraises for. All goes into the credit score.
A lot of factors.
Absolutely, yeah.
So people can't just rely on what the current interest rate is.
No.
Kind of give them a ballpark, I guess.
Yeah. So we're talking about mid sixes to high sixes. So six and a half to about 6.75 is going to be your average right now.
Okay. So with your company, what is the lowest score that a person can have to get approved?
So we go down.
Let me ask you this too: is that also the same score that they see like on Credit Karma and Experian and other apps like that?
Good question. Good question. So we actually go down to a 600 credit score. So your credit score on those apps is not the same as what your mortgage credit score is going to be. So, but I always tell people, I think they're a great tool to use, because number one, you can look and see what's actually on your credit report. Do you have collections? Do you have something reporting as past due that might be inaccurate? So you can actually get those disputed, get them removed prior to even starting the mortgage process, because it's not fun having to tell somebody, hey, you got late payments, hey, you got this, and they had no clue about it, So I think it's an absolute amazing tool to start with those apps to kind of know where you're at.
Okay, so besides, I guess, going on those apps, what's another thing that people can do to try to get approved before they even come to you?
So monitor your credit. Make sure you're making on-time payments for all your credit cards, installment loans. Student loans are a big thing, because we have to kind of watch that because, those are about to start, you're going to have to start paying on those soon.
Really?
Yeah, so right now they're thinking about September, I believe is the last thing I heard of when those student loans are going to have to start being repaid. Yeah, so that's a good little tidbit. Trying to keep your credit utilization to about under 30% for all revolving debt, and get your documents together. Make sure you've got access to your pay stubs and your bank statements and your W-2s and tax returns if you need them, because those are going to be the first things that I ask you for so I can verify all your information. So the quicker you've got access to it, the quicker the pre-approval process actually moves along.
How long do you have to be on your job?
Oh, that's a good question. So a lot of people, you hear that you have to have 2 years on the job. That doesn't necessarily mean at the same job. So there's so many factors that we could actually use, like if you went to school for nursing and you just graduated, I can actually use that as your work history.
Wow.
So you could be first day on the job, or not even on the job, and just have an offer letter. We can get you approved for a home loan. You could have worked as a welder at Austell for a year, and now you're over at SSAB as a welder, and you have a welding certificate. And it's not a full 2 years at a welding job, but you have that education behind you
And the
too.
experience.
So there's
Wow.
so many things that go into it, you know, but you just hear the 2 year.
Yes.
So call your lender,
Yes.
tell them your information, and we can guide you, you know.
Awesome. So if they don't get approved, do you think they should just give up, or?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So I have so many people that call me and they're like, hey Tia, I know my credit's not where it needs to be, you know, but I'm wanting to purchase next year or 6 months from now. What do I need to do? That's exactly the conversation that you need to call me. Say, hey, what do I need to do? And we can actually set up a plan. So without having to necessarily run your credit, do a full pre-approval process, we can actually just go with the information that you have and put you on a plan. If your credit's borderline, so say somebody calls me like, Tia, I think I have a 590 or 600 credit score, we can start working then and get you to pre-approval within 30 to 60 days, you know? So it's really just working with a lender, being honest with your lender, and then we can really, really help you.
Okay, that's awesome. So do they need to try to save up money? Do they have to have money to put down? How does that work?
So not always. So there are 100% financing options like a VA loan or a USDA loan.
Okay.
There's also down payment assistance programs that we have available here at Union. That also, in combination with those down payment assistance or 100% financing programs, working with a realtor like Chandra, she can actually help you with negotiating seller concessions towards those closing costs. And so we can actually get you into a home between our 100% financing and her awesome negotiation skills to actually get you to where it's, you know, either zero or close to zero at the closing table. Like we've seen it happen. You know, we did one where it was $100, you know, and so that was just amazing.
Yes, it's possible. It's
Absolutely.
Possible. So, yes. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do most of the borrowers understand the loan process? Do they come in with just knowing something, or just don't have a clue, I would say?
So I would say typically not. So like even if they've purchased a home before, it's not something you do every day. So even if you purchased, you know, a year ago,
things change.
Things change, right?
Yes.
Guidelines change, the market changes, right? And so it's typically, unless you just have like a savvy investor who is literally purchasing all the time, typically it's always either a refresher course of, hey, these are the documents that I'm going to need, this is the time frame, yada yada. But typically, like with first-time home buyers, we're going to have to guide them through that entire process, and so they understand, you know, what the loan process is, what homeowners insurance is, like what escrow accounts are, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the different loan types? You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what are the loan types, and what do you think is best for a first-time home buyer?
So I don't think that there's necessarily a best loan product for a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
That's all going to depend on that buyer's specific credit qualifications, their income, their military status, right? So there's so many different programs out there that are tailored to different needs. And so, you know, there's programs out there, like I said, where it's a 0% down payment. There's programs that you can qualify as little as a 3% down payment. There's, you know, an FHA loan that's 3.5%, you know, and so, and then of course there's just actual down payment assistant programs, you know, and so it actually finances the down payment portion. So, I mean, there's just so much out there, and so that's what really talking to a skilled originator is gonna actually present those options to you, so you can decide what's best for you.
Awesome. Okay. Do you kind of guide them to
Absolutely.
know what's best?
Absolutely, yeah. Typically, if they've got 2 to 3 options in front of them, you know, sometimes they only really qualify for one, and so I guide them to that one loan option. But if they actually qualify for different programs, then I'm going to give them that option.
Okay, so FHA, I've heard news that they're reducing the MIP.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so talk to us about that.
So they have lowered their MIP from 85 basis to 55 basis, which basically means you're going to save a ton of money.
Wow.
So
that's a big difference.
It's a big difference. So it's an average savings of about $800 a year, which, quick math, I don't know, $50 a month, in payment. And that's a big difference. I have one right now that we're actually lowering it to the new rates, and it's over $100 a month in just monthly payment savings just because of the mortgage insurance. So that's a big difference.
That is. That's good. That's more money in your pocket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
It absolutely increases the affordability of the, especially since we're in a higher rate market, it definitely helps a lot.
Awesome. So if someone wanted to get approved, someone watching, if you are thinking about home ownership, what advice would you give them?
So first step, I would say get an idea of like where you stand financially and in terms of your credit, what assets do you have on hand for down payment, what do you have for maybe reserves if you need them, so you can always use like a retirement account, and people don't think about that. It just makes you look better. It doesn't mean that you have to use that money at closing, but second thing, so it shows your assets. It shows your assets. It shows that you've got a better financial picture. Second thing, get your personal and income and asset docs together. Obviously speed up the process. So when I'm asking you for your driver's license, your pay stubs, your bank statements, your W-2s, tax returns, like have them handy. It makes it go a lot quicker. And then number 3, contact me and let's get started on the journey to home ownership. No matter if you think you're not ready yet, I can at least guide you so you know when you will be.
Awesome. Okay, so how should they contact you?
All right, so again, my name's Tia Austin and I'm with Union Home Mortgage. You can call or text me at 251-377-9207.
Awesome.
If you're ready to go ahead and get started in the process, you can go to my website, which is www.tiaaustin.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tia.
Thank you for
appreciate all the
having me.
information. Yes. So guys, I have that information also for you on my webpage as well as on my Facebook page. You can go and take a look at that and make sure that you get in contact with her if you're thinking about home ownership. So she is ready to help you all to get approved for a loan. So hopefully you'll get in your dream home. This is Chandra, and I'm also a realtor with IXL Real Estate. So you can contact me as well, and we can get together and get you in your dream home. So thank you all for joining us again. You all have an awesome day. And remember, open your mouth boldly, speak the word, and let your voice be heard. Y'all have a great day.
Awesome. Bye.